Good morning, guys. MWUSA, Season 4, Episode 68. It is March 26th, which is a Wednesday, and we are still in the Grand Canyon area. Just woke up here. The house is kind of cold this morning, so I'm sitting in the van that we rented for a little while, and just thought I would record this. Today we're going to be going to Williams, Arizona, to ride some what they call like mountain roller coaster. It's just like a 1-seat or 2-seat roller coaster that you can take. And then we're also, what else were we going to do today? We're going to go to a park, a national park, which is south of here. And I keep forgetting the name of it. I think it's called Slide Rock. So we're going to be doing that today as well. And then just doing some things here locally, food and just, discovering all the shops and things like that. So that's our plan for today. Tomorrow's plan is going to be to hit a couple ghost towns, a couple other places on our way back to Vegas, the Heritage Museum in Clark County, and some other things. So that's what we're going to do then. But right now, we are in the middle of nowhere, and we've got mountains with snow on them. I've got snow outside the house here, and it gets to be about 30 degrees at night and the low 70s in the daytime. And it actually warms up pretty quick. Right now it's 8 o'clock, and the temperature's 49. By 10 o'clock, it should be in the mid-60s. So, that's what's going on right now. I just wanted to update you on that, and I'll be back to update you soon. All right, guys, I am back. It is about 5 p.m., and I just dropped the family off at the house, and I'm leaving for a little while. So what's going on? Let me update you on what happened today. So we did end up going to that Slide Rock State Park, and it was all right, actually. I'm going to post a picture of the map as I was driving there. I'm like, why does the map do that? Because it's going all these squiggly turn right, turn left, turn right, turn left like 20 times. And then it goes in a straight line. So it's going straight and then back and forth, and then straight to get there. And it turns out it's because you're dropping around 2,500 feet in elevation, and there's these roads going back and forth along the side of the mountain, and that's why it looked like that. So by the time we got to the bottom of the mountain, the kids were all cranky already. I mean, give me a break. And we ended up stopping down there right before we got to the place and got some sandwiches for them, because everybody says they ate breakfast, but they didn't. And then they get cranky, and this one's touching me, and this one's looking at me, and all this craziness. So you might hear in a second here a noise on the road, and that is the little grates that they have for cattle so they can't cross from one street to another. Anyway, we got there, and the fee was $4. I'm sorry, it was $20 for the first 4 people, and then $5 per person after that, which, I think that's pretty reasonable. But honestly, if we're going to end up saving $1 trillion a year out of the budget, I think national parks should be free. I think that's the least the government can do, is let people enjoy their national parks that they own without charging them to use their own national parks. I mean, $5 a person is not that much, but give me a break. Do they really need to have someone standing there making $20 or $30 an hour to charge you $5 to get in? Come on. So anyway, we get there, and I noticed you can go to the right where people are messing around in the water, and you can go to the left where there's some paths. And it turns out that there really weren't that many paths in that direction, but the water area was what the people were there for. So you park your car and you walk by, like, it looks like old farm implements and stuff, like things to till the soil and things like that. And and there's a restroom there. Then you go forward a little bit more. There's like a little apple orchard area there. I'm about to go over this cattle thing here. There you go. And then you have a building there, I guess, that was built for the apple orchard to pick apples and store them there. And then you go down some steps. It looks kind of like slate. It's not slate, but it's layered rock. And you get to where this creek is. And the basic area, when you first get there, it's just a couple inches deep. But then toward the middle, it's as much as like at least 6 feet deep. Some people said 30 feet. I don't know if I believe that. Maybe 10 feet deep. And people were jumping off the cliff into it and stuff. Everybody was having a great time. Good atmosphere, safe atmosphere, family atmosphere. I was really kind of happy about that. I really liked it. And just all day, people were having a good time. We ended up leaving and coming back. On the way back to the house that we rented, I saw it was still packed there. So definitely something I would recommend to a family. And then from there, I was looking around for places to eat, and I found a couple places, and it turns out that they're in Sedona, which is right there. It's about 7 miles away from this Slide Rock. And it's called Slide Rock because there's a couple places there where you can actually slide down this flat rock, kind of shaped kind of like a half circle, where you can slide down there safely. And my little boy did it, and the water's about 40 something degrees, and he was messing around in that water for a long time. So good for him. You know, I'm proud of him for doing that, actually. And my other kids kind of went their own way and did a little hike here and there, and you know, everything was good. So we had a good time at that place. But on the way there, I noticed a casino, and I had looked up last night and saw that there was a casino in the area. And I know that Arizona has these 4-deck shoes for blackjack, and I thought might be a good idea. So I'm thinking maybe tonight, depending on how things go, I may leave for a little while and may go to this casino. I forget what it's called now, Till something, or I'm not sure. That's just off the top of my mind there. But I may go to this casino and play some blackjack tonight. Might be interesting to play a 4-deck. Now, I did play, you know, I played single, double, 6 and 8 deck, and 4-deck is the only thing I hadn't played in the US, but I did play 4-deck in London, and that was interesting, and that seemed like the perfect size shoe, a 4-deck shoe. So maybe we'll go do that tonight. Afterwards, we went on to Sedona, and I give Sedona like -9 stars. And I'll tell you why, because first of all, there's not enough parking. And the free public parking that they have is closed right now. And other than that, there's another public parking area, in quotes, which is $15 to park there. I think it says up to 3 or 5 hours, something like that. And then when you park on the street, it's completely packed. I did end up finding one spot along the street, and then you have to download an app and pay for it using an app. And how do you pay for it? You put in your license number. And what does my car not have? A license plate. So I was able to find this registration form. And I don't know if it would have mattered at all anyway. If someone checked, they might have not known how to read it anyway. So if I paid or not, it might have been the same either way. But I did pay for it. It was about $3, I think, for like an hour and 45 minutes. And we walked around there. Everything was ridiculously expensive. It was stupid expensive. Like ice cream in a cup, no cone, $6.99 for 1 scoop, $10.99 for 2 scoops. If you want a cone, it's extra. And then they have a tax on top of that. We went to a restaurant there, and I give this restaurant -5 stars because it was so ridiculous. They're like, oh, we'll put you inside. We have a couple seats inside. Okay, that sounds good. It's about 80 degrees outside in this place. So we welcomed being indoors. So we go indoors, and where is this? It's right by the door, and the door is wide open. So it's not really indoors. It's still, 78 degrees right there. We sit down, and I do want to dox this place because they were so bad. I want to save you from being screwed over by these people. So I'm gonna I'm going to see what this place is called. It's called Don Diego Mexican Cuisine, okay? Cuisine, my, you know what. So Don Diego Mexican Cuisine took 23 minutes to come ask us what we wanted to drink. Then they brought us some allegedly free chips and salsa, which included queso, guacamole, and salsa. The salsa was incredibly sweet. I didn't eat it. And they said, I'll bring you as much as you want. Just let me know. And we're like, hey, this is kind of nice. So we were looking at the menu, and it says a gratuity of 20% will be added to parties of 5 or more, which obviously that's me. Entree sharing is a $7 surcharge. So if you have a $20 meal and you share between 2 young people, it's an extra $7 plus the $20, okay? And a 3% charge is added by the restaurant to all checks to help offer health care for our employees. Please let us know if you have any questions. Thank you for supporting a healthier staff. You know, I really don't care about paying 3% for your stupid staff to have health care. If they want to have health care, go to college and get a real job. Don't be a waiter. Being a waiter is for like a 16 to 21-year-old. They're still going to school. They're just getting started in life, and that's why they're there. They're not for a lazy person to live off of forever. So we ended up ordering some kids' meals. I think all but one of our kids ordered a kids' meal, even though they're kind of older. And like 3 or 4 entrees. And then the bill comes, and the bill includes $5.99 for the free chips, $5.99 for the second free chips that we got, and then $3.99 for queso, $3.99 or $5.99 for the free guacamole. We asked for extra guacamole and didn't get it, and were charged for it. It's like the most ridiculous thing. And then there was the 20% fee on there, which was like $40 or something on there. And then there was a tax of like 15%, and then a $3 healthcare fee on top of that. And this place was awful. They didn't come get our order for 38 minutes. And then we didn't even get our free, quote, chips and salsa till after they got our drink order, which were in the 30-minute range. And then the food was awful. I got chicken fajitas. They were cold. There was a tiny bit of beans and a tiny bit of rice, which was just awful, just completely awful. So if I was you and you're a family and you're heading over to Slide Rock Park, I would go to Slide Rock Park because it's a really nice place, a really good family place, and I would give it 4 stars or 4.5 stars. As far as Sedona, I would give it 1 star on a scale of 1 to 5, maybe on a scale of 1 to 100. And Don Diego Mexican Cuisine, I would give a 2 on a scale of 2 through ace. So that's my normal thing that I do. I give it a 2 on a scale of 2 through ace because it was absolutely terrible, absolutely terrible. Anyway, so that's what's going on. We did all that. We went back to the house. So why am I leaving the house now if we just got back to the house? Because yesterday we took a little drive and left my oldest kids at the house by themselves. My daughter decided to make a bowl of this ramen, where you just put it in the microwave and you're done. Everything's already included. What she didn't understand is the water is not included. So she puts this dry ramen in the microwave for 5 minutes, and then she opens the microwave and it's practically on fire and there's smoke everywhere. My wife tells her to take it outside the house. She does not do that. So now for the last day and a half, the house has smelled like smoke. So I don't want to pay a fine for making the house smell like smoke and I have to pay all these fees. So now I'm driving into Williams to get a bunch of scented candles. They have a grocery store there. I'm going to try to get like 10 scented candles, all the same smell. and hopefully get that sent out. So that's what's going on right now. I'm heading off to that place, and I'll come back and update you, let you know what else is happening. All right, guys, I'm back. So I ended up finding a Family Dollar, and I got 4 candles that are like this water breeze smell type thing, something light, and then 2 different kinds of smoke odor removers. One of them is a small spray bottle. I got 3 of those, and one is a big spray bottle, and I got 3 of those, and we'll see how that all works out. Hopefully it helps neutralize the smell. Now, while I was driving to this place, I got a message from a guy who used to give me plays in Vegas. So I met him in Vegas. Nice guy, dressed real sharp and everything, and he's sitting on a machine with a play on it. This was a few years ago. And I walked up to him, and he could tell that I knew what I was talking about. And he says, you want to play it? And I said, sure. And he goes, well, give me 30% or whatever, 50%. I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, yeah, this is a good play. It's going to be a lot of money. You'll see, you're going to make a lot of money. So I ended up negotiating with him for less, and I don't remember the exact amount now. It's in an episode somewhere. But anyway, he just sent me a text message with all these pictures of this game at tell me if this sounds familiar, $200, $300, and $500 bet level that a friend of his from Texas flew somewhere to play. Well, that's the guy who came and took my play. So I got all the pictures of all the money that he won on the machine that we were going to play, and turns out it is the same guy. It was the same date, and I verified it is the same machines for sure. And that doesn't make things any better. It makes things a little bit worse. But I now have the images of all the money that the guy won off the machine that I would have played. But anyway, right now heading back to the house, and I'll probably start a new episode for tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be leaving Williams/Park, Arizona. We're going to be traveling to a ghost town. There's this one ghost town that has it's not really completely a ghost town, but it's like a mostly abandoned mining town, and it's got a bunch of wild donkeys roaming the streets. It's called Oatman. We're going to go to Oatman, and then we're probably going to go to Laughlin, and then stop at the Clark County Heritage Museum before going to the M and getting that free play and free food. And my ID did show up at Caesars today, so I'll be picking that up tomorrow as well. So that's what's going on right now. Heading back to the house. I'm going to keep this episode open just in case I go play tonight. But if I don't, I'm going to quickly record an ending to this. Hopefully between this and the ending, there'll be some stuff about me driving to an Indian casino in Arizona to play some 4-deck. So that's where we are right now, and I'll catch up with you later. All right, guys, I am back. We are doing it. It is 10:45 p.m., and we are going to a Navajo casino, and it is called Twin Arrows. We're going to Twin Arrows Casino. I'm going to start my map right now. I'm going to mute it also. It is about an hour away, just under an hour away from the house. So I'm heading out right now, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully we can get a little bit of blackjack in, some nice 4-deck, and some slot play in as well. I'd be happy with just like $500 just to say I played the 4-deck in Arizona, and we'll see what happens. So that's what's going on right now, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I am back. Yeah, I got about 15 minutes away from the house, and I got pulled over. I've got no license on me. I've got no tag on the car. The car is not rented to me. The car is a 2025 and the serial number is not in the system yet. He couldn't even find it in the system. And somehow he's like, don't worry about it, everything's cool. Here's a ticket for just a little bit over the speed limit, and I appreciate your honesty with me, and good luck, and take it easy on the road. And he said, you're like the most honest person I've ever dealt with. So let me explain this here. So I'm doing about 84, I think, in a 75. Now, these roads are like so straight and so smooth. And I'm driving a brand new car, and it seems like I'm going a lot slower than I really am. And I go over this hill, and I guess he saw me from really far away. He was in a position where he could see me from really far away, and he saw me doing 21 over the speed limit, because the speed limit dropped right before I got to him, and I was already doing about 10 over, so he had me doing 21 over. Now, he pulls me over, and he says, good evening, I'm so-and-so. I said, hello, how can I help you? And he says, well, I pulled you over for two reasons. One is because you were doing 21 over the speed limit. The speed limit just dropped. And the other reason is because you don't have a license on the car. And I said, well, sir, my car is from Vegas. I just rented it. And there's a temporary license right there on the window. And he's like, I kind of figured that. Let me just take a look at that. He goes, can I see your ID? I'm like, Beavis, we have a problem? No, I said, well, yeah, but let me explain. My ID was taken by the TSA and was not given back to me, and it's being mailed back to me, and it's sitting in Vegas right now waiting for me. But I have my old ID, and I have a picture, a digital copy of it. I think saying that I have a digital copy of it, because some states accept digital copy, might be good enough for some of these guys, because they deal with a lot of people from out of state. And he's like, that's fine, I understand. He goes back to his car with my ID, and I'm like, please just don't arrest me, and then my family can't get back, and I got to explain all this. So he comes back to the car, and he's looking at the VIN number, and then he goes back and looks at the number again on the temporary tag, and back to the VIN number, and back to his car. And finally he comes back like a second or third time, and he says, I totally understand. I appreciate you being honest with me. I'm just writing you a ticket for the speed. I'm putting it down as 75 and a 65 instead of 86 and a 65. And that's the minimum that we write them for. Just deal with it with the court before the date on the ticket. I said, okay, so you're telling me just pay it by that date and everything is fine. He said, yep. And I appreciate it. He shakes my hand, and he says, I hope you have a great day and be safe out there. I said, thank you. And I took off. And, all the stories you hear about this area and other areas in Arizona where they confiscate money and ask you how much you have and stuff. And I think part of it was I was totally upfront. He even said, I can tell when people are lying to me. I don't know how. I'd like to learn about that so I can do more lying. But and part of it was I'm driving a minivan from Las Vegas, not exactly. And he could see that there's like kid stuff in the car and stuff like that. So he cut me a break. So I was very worried that I was going to have to call my wife from the side of the road or from jail and tell her to come pick up the car and that I'm in trouble. But, so we skirted by that. Now, can we get past the Indian police? We're going to find that out next. So that's where we are right now. I did about 15 minutes of driving and about half an hour sitting there with that cop. And I'll let you know what happens next. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. It is now about 2 o'clock in the morning. I got to the casino, went in, started looking at slots. It's a nice little casino, actually. It's not bad. They have a huge area here for trucks, and that's actually where I parked. They have a huge parking for regular area and a huge parking for trucks. And in front of all the trucks, there's where regular cars can park. And I figured if I went in the truck area and I actually was wearing a hat that a trucker would wear, that I would look like that, and I might get a little bit less hassle. And really, I got no hassle at all. I really can't complain. I walked in, I was looking at slots, and I found machines right away. Found a lot of small plays, but I found a lot of plays at low denominations. I'm trying to think what the highest denomination. I think I played like a $3.60 machine might be about the highest that I played. And I probably played 10 or 12 machines, and I ended the slot session ahead $259. So plus $259 on slots. Really lower value plays mostly. A lot of the machines did have high denominations. And as I've talked about before, they actually pay to have those other denominations on the machines, but all of them looked like they were at reset levels. They'd never been played or almost never played. So, you would think that every once in a while you'd get a trucker or somebody in with a lot of money, and they would throw a bunch of money around, but didn't really see anything on the higher levels. So I finished that up, and I'm walking by the blackjack table, and I see like this lady, like kind of like a trying to describe this girl. She's wearing like a I don't know the name of it. People call it a wife beater, but like a tank top type thing. And she's got tattoos, and she looks like she's Native American. A kind of chubby face, dark hair, long hair, jeans, and she's standing there looking at the table. And this is a blackjack table that you could spread from, or the minimum and maximum are $15 to $300, right? So there's two hands on the table. They're both $50 hands, and the first one is an 18, and the second one is 2 2s against a 9. Okay, so you got an 18 against a 9. You got to stay. It's a hard 18. Nothing you can do there. And the 2s, of course, you're going to hit that, right? No, that's not what it is. So it turns out that there's this guy. He's a younger Asian man, and he's got a little mustache, which I never really see on Asian younger guys, especially. Even older guys. When do you see him with a mustache? Well, he's got this skinny little mustache, and he's wearing this big, heavy jacket. And I mean, I guess it's about 50 degrees outside, but he's wearing it indoors. And it turned out he had gone to the cashier to get more money to split the 2s against the 9. Okay, we're clear on this now. He splits the 2s. I'm walking away. I come back around. He must have busted the first one, and the second one he ends up with an 18. So he's got 2 18s. He had like 2 ace 10 5 for an 18. I don't know how you remember these things sometimes, and so both hands were 18. The dealer had a 9, flipped over an 8 for a 17. He got paid on both of them, but he had gone to get $40 to double down, or to split, but his bet was $50. So he goes over to the other table. There's only 2 blackjack tables. The other one is full, and everyone's playing nickels. It's all red chipping. And he asked the guy at the table, "Can I borrow $10 for a split?" And the guy says yes. And he ends up winning and goes back and gives the guy the $10. I mean, I can't believe the guy would even let him borrow it. But so he wins that hand. And then I'm looking at other machines because it's only halfway through the shoe. I don't want to get involved yet. And it is a 6-deck shoe, not a 4-deck. But I come back, and this guy's got like $400 and something in chips. So I start the next shoe with him, and I buy in for $200, and I'm betting 15, which is the minimum, and I spread 15 to 100. So I went 15, 25, 50, 75, 100. That's the way that I bet it. and he's playing ridiculous. No wonder he was out of money. He had a 4-3 against a 4 and doubled down. He had 2 10s against a 9 and he split. He had, what else? 7-2 for a 9 against a 7. He doubled that. He had another 9 against a 9. He doubled that. But when he lost like the first couple hands of the shoe, as did I, and then he goes 100, 100, 100 and loses all his money. So this is before he goes and gets more. He comes back and he plays the other hands I was talking about. But he goes and leaves and then comes back to the table with no money, and then leaves again, goes to the cashier, comes back to the table, and he's just getting slaughtered. And I had bought in for 200 and lost that, bought in for 200 more, and at my low point I was down like 260 or 275, somewhere in there, and ended up coming back, and they were closing the table, so I left at the end of a shoe, and I was only ahead 57, but plus 57 on the blackjack, plus 259 on the slots, and I tried to see where this ticket, how much it was going to cost, and I almost feel like it might not be a ticket, it might be a warning. It said no more than 10 miles an hour. It had no fine amount, so I'll have to look it up and see. I see no numbers, nowhere to pay, nothing like that, so it might have been a warning. That would be like the most incredible thing for that to happen. So I ended up leaving the casino, got myself a nice little Diet Dr. Pepper, and left the casino. And I'm going to watch my speed on the way back, because I may not be so fortunate on the way back to get someone who was nice enough to let me go. And I need to see if I can find a place to get some fuel, but might not be possible. So I'm only about 45 miles away from the house at this point. If I get fuel, that's fine. If not, I can do it in the morning on our way back to Vegas. So that's what's going on, man. And like I said, early morning right now. We're going to be leaving the house in about 7 hours. So I'm going to wrap this up. And if you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com. mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.